super busy, and then to get your email reply is like, wow, so I feel so happy when you reply. Super busy. Right.
So long time you feel is really bad in China.
Exactly. Right. So we get you today because you have like a lot of experience in the US, in Singapore, and in China. So, wow. Give me an introduction. Like tell everyone like who are you, what have you been doing, what have you done, and what have you been doing recently?
So actually, I'm Singaporean. So I left Singapore after national service, went to the US for retail tech, then stay on with the Silicon Valley. Mid-career entrepreneur. I started working at large firms like Oracle, Zion, and Business Objects first before joining startup, and then ultimately around the late 90s, starting to start my own company. CPO is my first .com. Unfortunately, it's also a .com. So, but failure is not, I think, in a sense, Silicon Valley actually love failures to actually be your stepping stone to your next success. So my next company, IG, is actually slightly more successful. We were able to sell that before the burst. And then I moved to China as a venture capitalist working for iGroup Partners as a China partner. And then in 2003, I go back to entrepreneurship again and started my company Susong, and ultimately become Dextrys. And just recently I joined the IBA board, and now I'm trying to help more people companies from Singapore to hopefully tackle the China market.
Holy cow! So you have like a experience being a corporate ladder climber, in entrepreneurs, like being an entrepreneur, and then being a VC, and then being an entrepreneur again, right? Yeah, get confused, but never mind. We have like 30 minutes to really do this whole thing,
sure.
Right? So you spent 12 years in the US, right? So you moved from Singapore. You're born and bred in Singapore,
yes.
Right? So after that you moved to Silicon Valley. So you went over there to work.
Actually, I got a SD scholarship, Singapore Technology Scholarship.
Okay, a Singapore Technology Scholarship.
Yeah, that sent me to Berkeley, and after that I could stay on with the Caltech and stay on in the US.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So if you get a scholarship, you started in Caltech,
yeah,
and then you stayed on for 12 years. So in these 12 years, let's focus on why US?
Well, back in the 90s, it's even more dominant. I mean, now US is still the major tech arena. Back in the early 90s, it's the only tech arena. So anyone that wants to excel in engineering, in technology, US is the place to go. Silicon Valley is the dream place. So at the time, since I went over, decided that is the place I want to be. I want to be a top-notch engineer.
You want to be a top-notch engineer?
Yes. So stay on in Silicon Valley. And I started off as an engineer.
Right. So what were you doing in Silicon Valley?
Started in software as a software developer.
Okay.
I started as a software developer in Xilinx, doing CAD software, computer aided design.
Okay.
Later on moving to Oracle.
Oracle.
Yes.
You founded some, we chatted the other time, right? And you mentioned that you founded some companies in Silicon Valley.
Yes.
Right. So what company? Which is your first company?
That I founded.
Yeah.
ZPO. It's an online application portal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So what happened then?
Well, this is in the late 90s, 97, 98. Fundraising is easy.
Fundraising was very easy back then.
Yeah, it's basically, I think the people are hoping to take money from them.
How much did you raise for your first startup?
I think over July 4th weekend with 6 slides of PowerPoint.
6 slides, and?
Yeah, that includes the first slide with the company name and the last slide was a thank you. $2 million.
$2 million.
And the person just wanted 35%.
Oh, come on man. 6 slides, $2 million, come on. It's like
but that was during what they call the drive-by investing time.
Alright.
Yeah, it's not drive-by shooting, but people just drive by and try to give you money.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what happened to the company?
Actually, we are relatively successful. We actually do online application. We sign up schools providing application service to both, at the time mainly the Silicon Valley. But I also try to work with some single schools at the time I get back to Kai, which is my
So secondary school, right?
yeah, try to arrange cross-border exchanges. But unfortunately, in the year 2000, U.S. has come out with the Online Children Protection Act, which basically restrict collecting online children's information.
Okay.
That really killed the business model because to educate a kid, you really need to know how old he is, and you cannot collect this information and track him.
So that business didn't really take off.
That one didn't take off.
Okay. So that's the first company, right?
Yes, that's the first company.
What is the second company?
Second one is actually IG. We actually founded together with a group of Singaporeans. We actually created a platform on J2EE to serve enterprises on their marketing channel.
Okay, so that was when you are in the US. You were in the US.
I was in.
Okay, so did you raise any money, like 6 slides, 2 million?
6 million.
Oh, what, 6 slides, 6 million?
Yeah.
So like what now is the ROI is like 1 million per slide?
Oh, no. That one even worse. That's what, I don't think we use any PowerPoint.
Okay.
Yeah. By the time you start to use whiteboard, draw your idea out,
okay.
It's actually more effective that way.
Serious? So what, you raise money using a whiteboard?
It's still during the .com days, the ending of the .com days.
Okay.
Almost 2000, actually 2000, April 2000, right before the bubble.
That was 12 years ago.
Yes. So at the time, yeah, you don't even need
one whiteboard, 6 million.
Because they look at that you have done it before, and also I think I was lucky in the sense that when I closed down CBO, actually I returned whatever leftover cash in the bank account to the investor.
Wow.
Because I think a lot of other entrepreneurs who have burned all the cash to the end.
Yeah.
But at the time I thought that, I'm going to start something new. The investor may be interested, may not be interested. So what thing to do is to return whatever left to do and close down.
So what happened to the second company?
A second company I think we successfully sell to a Sun distributor.
Oh, okay, so how much did we sell?
Not too much. I think that one we only make a little bit of. I think everyone, because that is already post the public. So I think everyone make a little bit money, but yeah, nothing particular.
Okay, so that was the last venture when you were back in Silicon Valley. Okay, and then after that you moved to China.
Yep.
So what happened in China? Like what triggered you to move to China?
Well, so 2001, Silicon Valley is pretty depressing because you have the bubble just burst. There's a whole bunch of ex-millionaires. So everybody actually looking for the next hometown. So I looked across, saw that in China should be the next hometown, so we decided to move over there.
Okay, so you think that China is the next hometown, and that's why you want to do that? Okay. And then you just move there. Like there's no plan and everything, just like, I want to go to China, and you just buy an air ticket
I think sometimes, actually, so I sent a mass email to my whole email list. Okay. Said that I wanted to go to China. Anyone have any opportunity there? And one of the VCs that have come in before, I took partner, said, yeah, they are actually starting up an office in China. I joined them as a China partner.
Okay, so
so I think sometimes in entrepreneurship as a business, your networking is actually key because you never know where your next opportunity will come.
Okay, so your first move to China and you became a VC, right? So how long did you do that?
I survived for 3 years.
3 years?
Yeah. My main, actually, besides looking at Chinese company at the time, one of the main jobs was actually moving a lot of US companies from Silicon Valley to Asia. Because with the bubble burst, a lot of companies, no revenue model, just a cost model. So the fund needs some time to sort it out. So we actually moved them to Asia to extend their funding. And fortunately, actually, some of them really made it. One of the 5 companies I moved to China ultimately went back to IPO in 2009. carrying out.
Right. Okay, so after 3 years being a VC, and then what happened next?
I think at the end of the day, I'm still more an entrepreneur than because I think for a VC, good VC, you shouldn't interfere with your portfolio too much. You can give advice, you can give, but you shouldn't drive them or doing things that they should do themselves. But as a very operational guy, sometimes that's also very frustrating. So in 2003, I decided, it would be better suited to run my own company. So, and also at the time, I just see that outsourcing is actually, for China, is on the top of the ground. Because before that, all outsourcing work went to India. But through my moving of the company, I found that I think that China is actually really different. So that's why I came up to start Susan.
Okay, so after 3 years of VC experience, you started Susoft.
Yes.
All right, so you find and basically you see the opportunity of bringing companies into China, help them with their IT infrastructure and operations.
Basically, help them leverage the engineering resource of China. I mean, at the time, even now, China has abandoned engineering resources pretty reasonable cost. Compared to the US, at the time it's almost 1/10. Even now it's only 1/5. So the cost arbitrage is huge.
Okay. So the interesting thing, about your background, your history, is that Susoft is a Suzhou-based company, right? And we have been hearing a lot, from Shanghai and Beijing. But the thing is that why Suzhou? What interests you about Suzhou?
I think so. I've been advising people that too. I think for China, China has, this is a country with more than 70 cities with larger than 5 million population. So if you want to start a company in Beijing, Shanghai, well, it's great. You have great access to talent, great access to capital. But one thing to remember too, your competitions are extremely fierce in both cities. So actually, another strategy that you can consider is that you could dominate one of the market first before you go on to more competitive. Like right now, I do have offices and subsidiaries in Shanghai and Guangzhou, but that's after I managed to establish myself firmly in Suzhou. So I do think that, you can follow different strategies to success. And one of the strategies is you can be the biggest fish in your pond before you go out.
Right, interesting. So, and then Susoft, and then somehow became Dextrys, right? So your current company, outsourcing company, the official name is Dextrys.
Yeah.
So what's the history between Susoft and Dextrys?
So in 2006, we actually acquired a small US firm, Darwin Partners, and so for a while we were known as Darwin Susoft. And then people keep confusing us with law firm, so that we are so we decided to pay a marketing firm to create a name. And also at the time, we've expanded beyond Suzhou. We are in Shanghai, Dalian, and a couple of cities. So Susoft is no longer too feasible. So we pay this marketing firm, we come up with Dextrys, and that's how we do it.
Okay, so you acquired an American firm.
It is a small consulting firm. At the time, we tried to expand into the US. And also, at the time, the visa requirement is much tougher. So you need, actually, the firm that we acquired has been in operation for 28 years. So excellent record with the IRA. We're able to use that to apply for a lot more US book visas.
Interesting. Cool. So you have a couple of interesting statistics to share with us. I'm not sure if you want to share with us, but what is the revenue of Dextrys, the annual revenue?
Oh, we are about $105 million US dollars.
$105 million US dollars per year.
Last year.
Okay. Do you see an increase for this year?
We grew about 25% a year. I think have been quite consistent between 25 to 30% last year.
Okay, so I also understand that Dextrys received a lot of support from the Chinese government,
yes,
right? So that is very interesting. I mean, how the hell did you even start, communicating with the Chinese government? It's like one of the most difficult things.
I think actually it's not as hard. I think my advice to most entrepreneurs going in is that actually the Chinese government, very much like the Singapore government, actually have a lot of support for tech companies and startups. It's just that you need to figure out, you need to actually spend some time to figure out which bureau to talk to and what program to apply for. And they are actually very generous with the support. From Suzhou alone, last year, in terms of cash, we got about $1 million cash.
$1 million cash.
And also on top of that, they have waived $500,000 of rent for us. So, if you look at on the book value, just Suzhou alone gave us $1.5 million.
So 1.5 million, not RMBs, US.
US.
Holy shit.
And that's just one city.
Okay.
So actually, it is worthwhile to, most of the larger companies in China actually will have a team specific for government relations.
Government relationships. Interesting.
I also have it.
Okay, so let's talk more about the government relationship thing, right? So what do you mean by government relationship in China? Like what is expected?
Because Chinese government have a slightly different mentality in supporting tech companies. I think in most Western countries, you tend to discuss fund based on fairness. So you try to disperse a lot of funds to smaller companies. And Chinese government tend to pick winners. So you have to position yourself as a winner in order to actually get more support. And as you prove your success, they actually give you more money. So sometimes, if you just look at statistics, it's strange that they put most of the money into larger companies. But actually the thesis behind is that they're just betting winners.
Okay.
So if you wanted to actually get support from them, you have to position yourself as winner, go in confidently, and actually build a relationship.
Okay, so in plain, simple English, like, can I say that we have to really push it a lot? Like say, we are this big, that big, and we have this amount of projections and stuff.
No, I think winner doesn't necessarily mean size. Actually, winner could actually mean that when you have to convince yourself, even if you're one person startup, why you? I mean, you must have something unique that you believe in yourself in order to succeed. So it's not completely bullshit. It's more your belief, your conviction, and of course, unfortunately in China, how much alcohol you can drink.
Yeah, I'm going to go to that point. So besides, we have a relationship team, right? It's like a very fun team. It's like you probably would have a lot of alcohol and a lot of women.
Elderly, I think.
Women? I'm good with the third point.
The women thing, even in Singapore, you have a lot of IT procurement issues.
So there's no KTV girls and
No, I think
in China. I'm talking about China.
So the KTV is huge industry.
It is.
But I think your businesses and your relationship building with your government counterpart there are more on the table. I mean, on the dinner table than at anywhere.
Okay.
Because the thing is that you must realize with the current Weibo and all that, they are very sensitive about going to any of the clubs. You will not actually find them at some of the club with you because they never know whether you will take a picture of them and post it on the web. Right. So actually it's all, so I don't think you need to worry about the girls part, but you just need to focus on holding your alcohol while giving your speech.
Okay. So, every country would have different style of lobbying. So, just it is very sensitive. But is there any rivalry in China, underhand stuff?
Wrong.
So, I think the kind of industry you're going into, for tech industry, as I just mentioned, we are recipients of cash from them. So they are not looking for you to rise there because if they're going to give you cash, they actually they have already more than what you have.
Or they have already taken whatever they need.
Yes, so if you're not in property,
I'm using it right now.
You're not in banking, you don't really need to worry about what you're doing.
Okay, so you've spent more than 10 years in China so far, right? And you have spent more than properties in Silicon Valley, and the rest of the years are all in Singapore, right? So in China, so what are the few takeaways? for
What are you using right now? Arena?
like a fresh entrepreneur who has a business idea, who can speak Chinese, and then can speak Chinese, and then if they want to head over to China, what is the best way to do it?
I think the first thing is commitment. I think if you are just alone in your startup, that means you have to go there. To succeed in China, one of the management team have to be that team. So it depends on the size of management team. And then also, I think one key thing is also when you land there, try your best to connect with the local. I think a lot of the non-Chinese entrepreneurs are not successful in China because they only mix with expats. So obviously that's not a network. If you want to mix with the expat, there's no point going to China. So I think get yourself plugged into the local network, build a local team. I think because actually a good local team may actually cover a lot of deficiency you have on understanding the country. So I think those are the things that. And don't be ashamed of asking for help from partners, from even agency. I think yesterday IDA or someone from IIPL did talk about there's actually a lot of help that Singapore government provide for Singapore startups to go to China. So there are offices from IE, from IDA, from Shanghai and Beijing. Don't be ashamed to go over there for help. I think they have connections, they have networks, they may be able to provide concrete help to the startup.
Okay, so like what I said, you have experience both in the West and China. So you have experience in both the largest market in the world, right? So for startups in Singapore, we definitely have to get out, right? To make really big money,
yes.
Right? This one we agree on that.
Yes. Completely agree. Have to leave Singapore.
Okay, so to leave Singapore, you see, it's like a lot of startups. Would you advise them at this point of time, 2012, right, to move to Silicon Valley or move to China?
I think it has to be your own comfort level. Because if your idea is more social networking, maybe US is an easy candidate. Because China do have some of the restriction on some of the social media and so on. So if your idea is that, go to the US. If your idea depends on massive number of consumers that buy online or that buy stuff,
e-commerce, right? E-commerce is huge.
Could be the place for it. So it depends on your idea and how comfortable you are.
So Dextrys is doing pretty well, 25% revenue growth per year, right? 105 million, right? So you mentioned briefly that you are heading towards IPO. So is that happening right now?
So the US market, unfortunately, is not that kind to idea outsourcing as well as China-based companies. So I think we have to choose the right time. So we may be thinking about IPO in 1 or 2 years time when the market have recovered for China concept.
Right. So I think I have connected some entrepreneurs to you who wish to explore China. But for those people who don't know you, right? How can they reach out to you to seek advice?
Email me.
What is your email?
Easiest is actually James@Susoft.
James at Susoft.
Yeah, it's easier to remember. So email me, and I'm happy to give you advice. I did hook up with some of your friends that they do, and some with the social media type of stuff, it's harder to get traction in China.
Right.
And others definitely encourage them on e-commerce side to move to China and so
Cool. Right, I mean, unfortunately, that's all the time we have. Thank you so much, James. I think it's a very interesting session. Safe flight, safe 2 million, right? Okay, thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Terrific job, very interesting. Thanks very much. Keeping things moving.